Tiger fans, welcome to the Home Plate Sports Bar and Grill. I'm your host, Jeremy Abrams, and of course, alongside me, the OG, Coach Dom. And all I want to say to start things off, Coach, congratulations. Another big win, this time in a monsoon, if you will. I wouldn't know much about it. I was in the booth, but you guys fought hard in the rain. Congrats, 3-0. And that's I have a feeling that was the goal coming into this. So tell me first about that. What explained it to so many players were out there for so long, and that rain never stopped. You could tell just in the lights how thicker and thicker the rain got. The game continued. What's that like?
It looks like a complication on things a little bit. I mean, we started throwing the ball effectively last week. So if we didn't get the rain, we were going to stick to our normal game plan. Then earlier in the day, we didn't see any rain. We started to get pushed to the game time.
I knew it. I told him, I said, it's to go. No, it ain't. I had to box up. I had to redo it.
Got into the game. Our natural game plan switched to really featuring the wing game and Wildcat and stuff like that because, and everybody, all the old school people, oh, you got to throw in the rain. And yeah, you do. But then there's the wet ball thing. In fact, we had some puddles on the field. The wind was blowing. And as the game progressed, we got in that fourth quarter. I mean, it looked loose.
Yes. Yeah, it was coming in our window.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as an old lineman by trade, I had a blast. Because Taylor would, and then B, that's rain games are fun.
I'd like to think so too. And from what you could see, it looked like the guys were having fun. I mean, we came away with the 45-6 victory, and that's always fun just to win. But to play in the rain, play as hard as they did. Actually, me and Charlie had a bet before the game, just a friendly little bet of how many fumbles there'd be in the game. We had it at 20. I believe there's 3 recovered. The Tigers recovered 1, I know, and Carlisle recovered 0. But yeah, so I lost that. I expected more. Were you shocked when Hunter Taylor, who looked like he had a pretty good on, quarterback for Carlisle, when he started throwing? Because he was getting down the field.
I mean, we didn't expect to. I know he's new to quarterback anyway. But you knew once we started pulling away that they were going to have to start doing something. And we started to get very close to the clock. Rain started picking up. They started to have panic mode, and all of a sudden they're going to help screens and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to and naturally, that wasn't the defense. Our defense wasn't so prepared for this because, quite honestly, they passed twice in the 2 game plans that I had.
Really?
So, I was like, oh. And then Josiah ended up with 2 receptions, and I was like, okay. Because usually, I mean, very wise choice, you don't pass towards Vermont today. They started throwing deep and picked up the ball twice. They threw a couple of those screens, and the first one, our D-line really started stimping it out. I mean, you could do that offensive line too easy, and you're like, because that, I mean, they were pretty solid. With big, strong jokers. I mean, naturally, you play at home, it's our field, we know how our field is in the rain. So, I mean, we can handle that element easily. I'm really proud of it because once they settled in, linebackers really started to kind of click. And it ended up being pretty dominant.
So you're right about the Carlisle did have a good line. They opened up some seams with Shepard, was their main running back. There was a couple times he had almost a straight up the gut cut for first downs. But like you said, it just seemed like those holes.
Well, I think a big thing was in that when you run in that 5-minute 4 linebacker, it takes your linebackers a little bit to settle in because that's not our traditional defense at all. So we run it against like these Prairies and all those guys, but goal line situations where sometimes if we have a really run-heavy team, but it wasn't when we had a run. So as those linebackers started to like get a little more confident in there, and naturally there's going to be holes just because you can't cover just by proxy. You can't have 5 guys down and cover every hole. So once they started really filling, I'm good now.
Well, I don't want to say that the team, they put their 6 points up, failed 2-point conversion, and that was it. So, something that we touched on last week is the theme that's continuing from season to season. Now it's game to game. We were talking about how the first season points allowed less last season, it's less this year. If you look at the games you played, you started against St. Pius, you allowed 10 points. Then you had at Malden, you allowed 18 points. Last week, you allowed 6 points. The same trend going on. You allowed fewer and fewer points each game. What's going on? What's going on there? I mean, I know you practice with that, but you can't lie with the numbers.
I think it's the comfort thing. It's tough to get some guys rolling during the season. We have a lot of Bridgeport athletes on the team, and a lot of these small schools get to play everything. There's a settling factor, but then there's that swagger. I get that with the swagger. That defense started to get a little more confident in themselves. And then when it boils down to it, once they started getting confident and really just playing the defense without thinking. And I think that's the big thing with defense is often there is a mental failure that comes in. You've got to be able to think on your feet and get routes and read this and read that and read defense. I think that's a big part of our offensive line. Defense, we're going to react. This guy does this, cause them pick. This guy does this, cause them pick too. This guy, and so once they started getting comfortable in that throughout the season, now it's our defensive practice. It was very good.
That's great. I mean, that's great to hear. And speaking of defense, we're going to get more into our player of the week, but before we get to the defense, let's talk about Sandy Bryant one time again. He was player one, week 1 player of the week, 5 touchdowns, 208 yards rushing, or 208 yards on the ground total. However, that total could have been a little bit higher if it wasn't for the other. I understand. But for those who didn't see, there were some touchdowns called back. Otherwise, those totals would have been higher, but still an unbelievable, remarkable performance once again by Sandy Bryant. I know Alexander had 82 yards. And you went to the Wildcat. We noticed that, and as soon as I looked down there, I said, well, that's not number 2, that's number 8. And things got exciting, and just to even call as a play-by-play, the handoff goes from Alexander to Bryant. I didn't think I'd even say that this year. But
the thing is, you have this kid who's he's a special talent. The kid, he's a phenomenal football player, very young man. When you have that ability and your offensive line strong, to where you have faith in putting it back there, that just, what I call it is, the term that I use in football is cheap and expensive. Okay, so cheap is, it doesn't take a lot of time. Expensive, it takes a lot of time. So for us, putting Monte back there, it's cheap. It's easy for us to go, okay, DeMonte, these are your finite set of plays. This is what we're going to develop you throughout the season. But for other teams, it's expensive. Because not only do you have to find a way to contain Sam, contain an RPO, contain this, contain that, now you're even worried about us going, all right, well, let's just put DeMonte quarterback because now we can do this. And we have a lot of that practice that's still in the works right now. And it's not something that we want to live in that. But when you throw DeMonte quarterback, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm like,
well, that's what I was thinking. To be a flying wall, to be in head, not just the players. When they look up and they say, wait a minute, that's number 8. Everyone knows who number 8 is for Carruthersville. That's number 8. Lining up. And then the coaches, I had to imagine the coaches were freaking out when they looked up and saw DeMonte about to take the snap.
Well, I get the same, and Joey and I talk a lot about what plays we're liking here and liking here and liking here. He's the offensive coordinator, so and he's really grown into that really well. But I get, and I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to bust Monte out and tell you what the Wildcat name is. But he goes, hey, can we use X personnel? And I'm like, oh, Not yet. Why? Because you know what? That's just going to be one more thing that Charleston's going to have to work with.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to get to next. So, Carlisle, they had a pretty small school. They looked like they had some talent.
Yeah,
I just don't think they were ready for what they threw.
No, I don't think they see. I think the brand of football that we play in the Blue Hills is very different than the brand of football they play in the Southern Hills. You know, there's a lot of jet sweeps. There's a lot of speed. I mean, you can go down the list of the teams we play. Malden's got some speed. Charleston's got speed. Valley. Scott City's got some big, strong boys. Haytop's talented. Portersville's got some talent on there. St. John is big, physical, and I mean, you just look down the schedule and you just see speed. And I don't think they're used to that kind of stuff. So when we came out and the rain didn't necessarily affect our speed, I think they were like, okay. Because usually the rain is a great equalizer. The rain is a great equalizer.
Yes, exactly.
And it didn't really equalize. I mean, Sammy had a day. I mean, I told Sammy that picture I posted on Facebook that I said, I bet I could recall this entire conversation. A, I probably called him Tubby. And then B, it was like, it's good to see the old Sammy back.
Well, I'm going to tell you, on his fifth and final score, the bot snap, he picked it up and he looked up. And I remember calling the play specifically. I said, you know, you got 11 men to beat. And I didn't call the play, you know, Brian into the end zone. I just remember saying, "Are you kidding me?" Screaming, "Are you kidding me?" The fact that he got through, he picked up that ball, looked for a sure loss in the backfield, and Sammy did what Sammy does, smooth as could be. We're gonna wrap up that the Carlisle game again, 45-6. Congratulations, 3-0. We're gonna take a quick break here at the home plate. It's Tiger Talk. Jeremy Abrams and Coach G, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk about your next opponent, Charleston. We'll be right back.
Great food and electrifying atmosphere and entertaining people. Come on in to Home Plate Bar and Grill, located at 1710 State Highway 84 in Haytime, Missouri. No matter if it's high noon or closing time, it's never too late to slide in to Home Plate. Hey, if you want a truck or a real fine car, Faulkner Auto Sales can get you cruising in any style. If Faulkners don't have it, they can get it. And if they can't get it, it's not even made. Go see Dwayne and Kevin at Faulkner Auto Sales on Truman Boulevard in Caruthersville or call 573-333-3800. And remember, if Faulkner's is not on the back of your vehicle, it damn sure ought to be. Glowing Hearts In-Home Care Service is an in-home supportive care provider serving the area from locations at 1119 Ward Avenue in Caruthersville and at 511 East Elm in Marston, Missouri. Glowing Hearts has friendly, professional employees who provide home nursing visits along with personal and homemaker services to enable clients to remain at home. There is a difference. See for yourself by calling Glowing Hearts In-Home Care Service in Caruthersville at 922-5056 or in Marston at 643-2537.
All right, so like I said, we're at the Home Plate Sports Bar and Grill. So glad to be here every week. It's Tiger Talk with Coach D. But before we get to, we're going to mix it up a little bit because we did talk about Carlisle. But one of our player of the week, which we'll represent here in just a little bit, Ridge McGraw. Now, Ridge McGraw played every snap except for one. That's considered 98. Can you explain what that means?
Well, we grade them out. So since I took over offensive line, I grade them out. What basically the grade is? They're taking on the footwork or the assignment time and the finishing. So you get a plus or a minus on each of those grades. He graded 98, and I think one play he might have probably didn't finish the line, put the same fourth quarter, and I never pulled the right line. So rating a 98 is pretty good.
I was going to ask you, how many players have you given 98 to? Let's just say in the 3 years, not every, just since you've been doing Tiger.
Very few.
Okay, I figured.
Very few. Because that's 98 is almost perfect on every single. And defensively, he played almost every snap. He was playing on the nose and getting double teamed. His face was match and all this kind of stuff. He was in the boxing match.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah, earlier this week you told me it was like he was in a boxing match. Well, I guess he came out on top.
He did.
Yeah.
And he's been starting for us since he was a freshman. He came in freshman year, my first year coaching. We were light everywhere.
Is he a senior?
He's a junior.
Junior.
He was all conference offensive line, all conference all region offensive lineman as a sophomore. He affectionately has the nickname, we call him Panda. And I went on this rabbit hole of pandas once. They have no natural predators, so they can just be goofy and goofy and roll around and eat bamboo. But they have like the strength of a grizzly bear.
Yeah, and he does.
And he does.
Well, and so yeah, he's a natural athlete. I've had him. I had him when he was in T-ball. I coached him in T-ball, and I watched him grow up. And I was hoping way back then, I hope he grew up and play football, and I'm glad he did. Let's change our focus real quick to Charleston. Charleston is coming into the game. It's their second home game. They're 2-1. They opened the season against Kelly, which I actually know very little about this season. It was a close one. They lost by 22-20 at Kelly. Then they went to Chappie, shut them out, 38-0. So obviously Charleston's working. I don't know if Chappie was just that bad that night, if Charleston was that good, but a shutout. And then last week the win against Malden, who you've just seen, score almost the same, 54-20. So they can put up points. They've thrown a shutout. What do you know about the Charleston Blue Jays, who's always been a rival with CARUTHERSVILLE?
And that's the key, is a rivalry. So regardless of the record, you're going to have to go in and get ready for another boxing match. The kids know each other. They're rivals in every sport. They're through 3 stack. I think we've already seen one, so that made this week a little easier for the offensive line. They're physical. They can fly around. They've got athletes. I mean, they're probably pound for pound the best athlete-filled team that we've seen so far. Coach Hutch he's a phenomenal football coach. I mean, my first year, he bounced us out of the playoffs. Second year, we caught him. And Coach Hutch and I have become really good friends over the last 3 years. And I know it's weird being from the guy to coach against, but hey, football guys take care of football guys.
That's right.
But I mean, that's a good. They've improved a lot. I think they got a good thing going over there. And this is an exciting game for me, because last time I went to Charleston, we got them at home last year, and I think the rivalry is pretty thick right now. The kids. I went to give the pre-practice talk, and the kids said, "All right, coach, we're good. Can we go practice now?" And I'm like, "That's probably the only time I'll be telling them to shut up." So yeah,
Get on.
we can go, and we practiced for a long bit today, and they were really focused and had a good day. So this is going to be an exciting game. I'm excited for it.
And we talked a little about it, but now it's here. Now it's actually happening. This is the start of a 4-game away trip. You're going to be away from Hockey Field for a month. This is the first week of it. Does that change the mindset that you're going to be playing on the road? Because, Charleston an hour away, Valley Catholic about 2 hours away, Scott City an hour away, and then back for the Battle of Boudreaux. Because this is the first time that I've been covering football, and in all my years that I've seen a 4-game straight road trip.
I think we got all the kinks out of our road trip against Malden. It was really, and I say kinks, but it was really smooth. There's a mindset thing of you got to go to somebody else's house and you kind of miss your home. You miss being in your locker room and all that. But I think when it boils down to it, the team's focus is football's football, and we're just going to go football. And yes, you're going to be in a foreign locker room and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, let's be honest. When it boils down to it, we can't change the 4 road games. We can't change our schedule. I wish we could have a couple more in the middle of the year. But
bye week too.
Yeah. Give me a nice bye week.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be an exciting challenge for me, because, and for the team, because last year we went 5-0 home.
That's right.
So and our road record's the one that kind of slipped up a little bit. So I think it's kind of time for us to put the road schedule from year one, the away schedule, or the home schedule from year two, combine it, and really just start being that complete program that can play on the road and home.
And one thing that's for sure, and I know it helps the players and your mentality, the fans travel.
Oh,
There's no doubt that there's going to be a seat right there too.
yeah, I mean, we packed Malden. I think we had more people at Malden.
I think so too.
So and we went to Valley last year as a severe underdog, and we packed Valley's away stands, and then the fans ate pizza with the kids after the game and we went home. And actually went home on the wrong side of the game, on the side that we don't like. But you're telling me you're going to travel with your football team 2 hours and 15 minutes away against the number one team in the state, pack their stands, and never give an ounce of give it from the travel. I mean, I'll travel with pros with people one a day. So you look at that. We already traveled to Valley. We've already got parents ready to tailgate and bring a bunch of people to Valley. Scott City, well, it's not far, and then you'd already know. The Battle of the Buddha is going to be packed no matter what.
Yes.
So you got to go back to Valley this year?
Yeah, that's why is that? Traveling to Valley 2 years in a row, usually it's a home and away.
Well, we went away there in the playoffs, so that doesn't necessarily count home and away. And
But the regular season.
I think Judd only had a certain amount of home games, and both of us really needed the thing. So I was like, all right, you know what? We need the game. I want Valley on the schedule. As you've noticed, like we had Park Hills, which was a big dog on our schedule the last 2 years. We're gonna have Valley this year, next year. I want to have that big dog on the schedule to kind of like be the barometer, give us something to really fight for. I think we're taking it 1 week at a time, and I heard a kid today say, let's not worry about Valley, let's worry about Charleston.
Exactly.
But Valley's a big game on our schedule where they ended our season last year. We want to compete against the best. We want to be the best. You have to compete against the best. So I was like, you know what? Whatever. Let's just go to Valley this year.
See, I was going to try not to bring up Valley because I know the mindset of what the players' mindset and the coaches all to be thinking 1 week at a time. They should be thinking about the Blue Jays right now and not Valley Catholic. I understand that, but it's just one of those things when you look up and down the schedule, it just kind of stands out. Valley Catholic.
Yeah, it's a midpoint of the season. I mean, you're talking about like the direct middle of the season playing the number 2 team in the state or whatever they are right now, and you already know what Valley's going to bring. And our programmatic record is 3 wins for Valley and 2 wins for Caruthersville, and I doubt there's very many schools out there that even are close to that record. So we're just gonna. I mean, yes, we want to focus 100% of my attention on Pete against the game in Charleston.
Right.
But I'm telling you one thing. The second that game is over, I've already had the Valley film downloaded on my phone.
Well, I was going to ask you how much of the St. Vincent Valley game you're going to watch because St. Vincent pulled an upset, supporting to I guess most
That was no upset. St. Vincent's the truth.
They're the real deal.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people had Valley going into that game with a win, and then were kind of shocked when they saw the loss. Now they are ranked number 2. Can you explain to me? I believe CARUTHERSVILLE, if my sources are correct, dropped in the rankings by a number.
You know what? It's nice to be in the top 10. And we were number 8 last week, and we're number 9 this week. I'll be quite honest with you.
Exactly.
It doesn't affect my mood at all. We're going to go to Charleston and take care of business and
Play Tiger football.
play Tiger football.
Thanks, Mark.
I haven't even got a chance to pull that line out. He's been asking me questions I can answer this year.
Oh, this year. Hey, for that, are we alive, by the way, Mark? Did we go live this time? Okay, I do want to give a quick shout out of one of our Tiger fan listeners, Martin Henderson. Says, Oscar is absolute dog. All gas, no brakes. I know Oscar had another big game. I think Charlie had around 18 tackles.
Yeah, he's Oscar to Oscar.
Yeah. Thank you, Martin, for listening. Thank you all the Tiger fans for listening. So, your final thoughts on 2 days away, right about this time, Charleston, Missouri. Blue Jays 2-1.
We have to have a good day tomorrow. We have to have a good day in the building. We have to have a good day in the practice field. Friday, we have to have a good day in the building. I know one of our football moms are making Feed the Tigers. Shout out to football moms for taking care of that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be honest, the only thing we're focused on is our brand of football, so we're just going to play Tiger football.
Folks, put it up on your walls. Put it on your Facebook posts. Tiger football.
Twice.
I'm getting better, but it used to be 10.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact.
The old man is proud of you.
All right, well, we're going to take another short break here at home plate. When we come back, we're going to talk to the player of the week about what an incredible night at Hoppy Field last Friday night, and what I like to call a monsoon. It was the remnants of a Hurricane Francine, but the real storm was brought by the Tigers. Yes. So Coach G, thank you so much. Congratulations and good luck Friday night. And we'll take a short break from the home plate. You're listening to the Blue Field Sports.
One of our fine sponsors today is Glowing Hearts Consumer Directed Services. If you are disabled, trying to remain at home, and struggling with daily personal care, contact Glowing Hearts Consumer Directed Service in Carruthersville and Marston. Consumer Directed means you can designate a friend or family member who is paid to assist in your personal care, shopping, and housekeeping chores so you can continue to living independently in your own home. Find out more by calling Glowing Hearts Consumer Directed Service, LLC, in Carruthersville at 922-5056 or in Marston at 643-2537.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
Hey, if you want a truck or a real fine car, Faulkner Auto Sales can get you cruising in any style. If Faulkners don't have it, they can get it. And if they can't get it, it's not even made. Go see Dwayne and Kevin at Faulkner Auto Sales on Truman Boulevard in Carruthersville, or call 573-333-3800. And remember, if Faulkner's is not on the back of your vehicle, it damn sure ought to be.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk here at Home Plate Sports Bar and Grill, located in Hayti. I am honored to be joined by our Blue Hill Sports Network Player of the Week for the Carruthersville Tigers, Ridge McGraw. Ridge, welcome to the show. Good to have you. Let's get right down to it. You've been playing your butt off all year long. You guys are 3-0. You're a big, big piece of that line. Did you know before the game was over with just how many downs you had played? How many snaps? Were you aware of that?
Yes, I was physically aware. Not, I wasn't thinking about it, but I knew how much I played.
Well, and in the rain, can you tell me about it? We heard the coach's fight. He's a former lineman. He said he loves playing in the rain. How was it for you?
It was fun when we got back. The first half, it wasn't raining enough.
Okay, well, I agree.
It was just kind of spitting, but after halftime, it started coming down a little bit, and that's when it got started.
See, that's what it would be from my booth. Was up, my views from the booth, and you could see from the lights just how quick it was coming down. It was coming down in sheets, but that didn't stop you guys at all. It didn't slow you down at all. I mean, still putting up 45. Didn't allow any points in the second half. At what point did Coach G come to you and tell you that you were a grade 98?
I didn't know, actually. I don't ask very much about how I do myself, because if I do something wrong, he'll tell me. But
what if you do something right? That's just your job, right?
Yep.
Okay.
When I looked on Facebook and saw Player of the Week thing, I was like, that's a big number.
And I asked him how often you do, because he said he grades every player. If you missed something, negative. If you did something right, if you opened up whatever, that's positive. I asked him how many 98s. He said very few. If you're giving out, I asked him for his Tiger career, 3 years here. Very few. So, I mean, that's saying a lot. And so now you're 3-0. You guys are rolling. You've got Charleston coming up here in 2 nights, just about 48 hours away. What do you know about? I mean, none of you watch film. What do you know about the Blue Jays? What are you looking forward to on the line? It's your job. What you got to
It's a similar defense to what we saw from St. Pius in the week one. Just a little bit. They're bigger and probably a little bit stronger naturally, but it's something we've seen before. We should be able to get back in the group. was week one. It took us a little while to get going against it. But when we did, we come strike with.
Well, speaking of defense, forget about the offensive boys. You haven't scored less than 41 points a game this season. However, that's something else Coach talked about. 20 points you gave up the first week, 18 against Malden, and then 6. So the defense is doing something better each and every week. And I'm not saying that. Well, actually, I'll ask you: does that put pressure on you to keep that score lower and lower?
It does, and Coach Treese is wanting to keep it lower and lower, but it does put pressure, and it makes you kind of think about it. And that it can be a bad thing, but it can also be a good thing.
Right. Any thoughts about Charleston? Do you think that I know they got, but most teams are that's the beauty of it. And if you're coming off teams they play different kind of football, but Charleston is a rivalry. It's usually hard fought down to the wire. Who knows what it's going to be like, but all I know is we're going to have Sea Red there. Tiger fans travel, what we were talking about with Coach G. And for your play, we want to officially make you our Boot Heel Sports Network home player of the week. And you've got your stats on here. You've got Bridge McGraw, but offense and defense, and a score, a grade, I should say, of 98. So if you look forward, congratulations to.
Have you ever made a 98 on a test, Rich?
That's okay, I've got quick marker. Never scored that high?
No, normally if I'm that high, I'd make 100. But
Okay. He outdid you, Mark.
So do you like offense or defense better?
You like offense better?
I feel like I'm better at it just naturally.
How does it feel having a running back like Sammy Bryant to block for him?
It's good. It takes some weight off our shoulders because if we do make like a small mistake, he can take care of himself back there.
Yeah. What do you think about that play in the fourth quarter? Sabat snap, and then Sammy picks it up, and you got 11 white shirts, and he takes it all the way to the house.
I think that's just Sammy being Sammy.
Well, that's the way I said it. Sammy being Sammy. And is there a lot of times, say you're deep in your own territory, and Sammy or DeMonte or Ed Lockridge, anyone, when they get the ball and you see them going, you get to stop running, right? You get to just enjoy the show.
I get to jog until I see him get down, and then we got to start going again.
Right. Well, I'm sure that helps you keep your stamina going during the game.
It makes it a little bit easier.
You got a younger brother nipping at your heels?
Can we talk about your younger brother?
I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. I can help. I coached him too, but that was a long time ago.
He's 7'11".
Tell us who your younger brother is.
Trace. He's just all over the place.
What's his future look like in football?
It looks good as long as he sticks with it.
Well, that's I'm going to put that responsibility on you. You know he's looking up to be broke. No? Okay. Maybe you should know. Maybe he is.
He wants to be his own person.
Okay. Well, that's fine. You're your own person. You're the player of the week. And I just want to say once again, congratulations. Thank you for taking the time to join us on the Boot Heel Sports Network. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back on the Boot Heel Sports Network. It's Tiger Talk with Jeremy Abrams and the player of the week, Rich McGraw. Rich, thank you.
Thank you.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we could teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio. Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
So, welcome back to the home plate. I'm Jeremy Abrams. Mark Manley has jumped back on the mic after a tribe talk with Coach D-Rob. I tell you, I don't know. I'm going to start off with the Hayti game. Would you consider that, and I talked to Coach Robinson just earlier, would you consider that the upset of the week in the league?
Well, I would think so, but as Coach Robinson would probably tell you, it's not really an upset in his eyes. But, as you know, us followers on SEMO ball, and I looked at that, and they had Scott City beating us like 42-6 or something. I thought that was ridiculous. Hayti came out with a great game plan. They executed very little penalties, and they're moving in the right direction, Jeremy.
They absolutely are. Like I said, me and Charlie were following the game the entire time in the booth, and when they got to the fourth quarter, when Hayti pulled away, and it was apparent, I went to the PA announcer. I said, "You need to announce the score. Hayti is about to knock out Scott City. Scott City, who the Tigers will play in 3 weeks."
Yeah, that's always a great one, man. And Crothersville's staying hot, and they look to move to another win this week as they play Charleston. That's going to be a great matchup, Jeremy. We're going to have that on the Boot Hill Sports Network with you and Charlie doing the thing for us there. And we'll have actually 3 games every Friday night from here on out on the Boot Hill Sports Network with Caruthers,ville, Hayti, and Portageville now join the network. And Chris Brown making a call there. And that's going to, I'll tell you what, we've got Portageville and Caruthersville coming up. That's going to be the game to be at. And if you can't be there, you need to be watching on the Boot Hill Sports Network because we're the only ones that's going to have that game streaming live.
That's right. It'll be at Caruthersville. Portageville is the second to last game of the season. It'll be the first game coming home off of the 4-game road trip. So, that I can tell you that day, Portageville, circle it on your calendar, the 18th of October, Portageville against Caruthersville. Got a feeling that's going to be one. You expect a news cruise to be sailing around. And yeah, but let's focus on the week coming up. Hayti, they've got that. Tell me, remind me.
Veritas Christian out of O'Fallon, Missouri, and they're going to travel all the way to St. Louis. Hey, we're going to take another quick break on the Boot Hill Sports Network. We're going to come back with the Boot Hill Sports Network Player of the Week, Sammy Bryant, who had a big day for Caruthersville. So we'll be right back after these words from our fine sponsors.
Glowing Hearts In-Home Care Service is an in-home supportive care provider serving the area from locations at 1119 Ward Avenue in Caruthersville and at 511 East M in Marston, Missouri. Glowing Hearts has friendly, professional employees who provide home nursing visits along with personal and homemaker services to enable clients to remain at home. There is a difference. See for yourself by calling Glowing Hearts In-Home Care Service in Caruthersville at 922-5056 or in Marston at 643-2537.
Great food and electrifying atmosphere and entertaining people. Come on in to Home Plate Bar and Grill, located at 1710 State Highway 84 in Hayti, Missouri. No matter if it's high noon or closing time, it's never too late to slide in to Home Plate.
That's fantastic. And welcome back to the Home Plate Sports Bar and Grill. You're listening to Tiger Talk. I've got another special guest. The name, you know it, Mr. Sammy Bryant. Sammy, another huge game, and we'll get to one play in particular that's going to live forever in Tiger history. But you finished up with another 208 yards, 5 touchdowns. Coach didn't want to talk about it, but you would have had more for a little bit of yellow. Yeah.
I thought I had 7 too, but they called 2 on me.
Well, that's the thing. You had 7 touchdowns, but they were called back.
I was tired.
But isn't it how difficult is that though? Because the way, as hard as you fight for those touchdowns, and then you hear the whistle and you see everyone walking back towards the line of scrimmage.
That's a shaking my head because my guys are tired.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, you got it all kicked off in the right way. The Tigers gave up 6 points. That was it. You guys never looked back. You kept going forward. What's it like to be the starting running back and to play in those situations? Because that was technically a hurricane. It was what's left over of a hurricane, and it just got heavier and heavier as the game went along. How do you keep your feet under you without slipping and sliding all over the place? They're claws. I like that. Finally, let's get to it. Let's get to the fifth and final touchdown. What was the design play?
Counter left.
Okay, so counter left. The snap was botched. Yeah. You run over, pick up the ball. You got 11 white jerseys standing in front of you. What goes through your head?
So I went right and back around, and then I just stuck one out, and then I got a big block from Sirius with baby, and then another block from Monte, and then I just cut off him and I scored.
Yeah, once you got the last block from Monte, that was when I know everyone in the booth, and especially everyone saying going crazy. No one, because that would have been a loss of probably 5 yards.
I was surprised myself.
And that says it all. When if Sammy Bryant, surprising Sammy Bryant, see, and you've made it to the point where you can probably start considering yourself in the the first or third person. But I got to say, it's a pleasure to watch you out there. You're once again a player of the week, Woodhill player of the week here for just an outstanding performance. Again, I can't understand the frustration of losing the extra touchdown. You could have had 7, you had 5, you 280 yards, nothing to sniff at. You got Charleston next. You're ready to and conditions look like it'll be a little warm to start the game, but no rain. So
I like playing in the rain, but I'm happy that rain.
yeah. So that's
Coach G said I can send them crazy, so Friday I'm just play Tiger football.
And see, for you don't know at home, Coach G once again is standing here and he's observing. He's not letting him say anything. That may be why we're getting short answers from Sammy. Nothing crazy. Just going to play Tiger football. Well, Sammy, once again, any final thoughts on your game going into Charleston? We try not to look too far ahead, but the next game stands out. It's Valley.
Charleston, I just want to beat them because they voted us out. Valley, he's just a big next year's going to be a big team for us. We got to practice hard, position hard.
Well, from everything Coach G said, you guys had a great week of practice, especially today and yesterday, or today especially. So, all I can say is we're all rooting for you, know that. We'll be on the Boot Hill Sports Network for a pregame 6:45, kickoff at 7. And all we can say is go Tigers, beat those Blue Jays. They were a big rivalry when I was in school. I'll never forget playing basketball. They shot a full court shot. We were up by 2. They full court shot to get us in basketball. So I've never liked them since. So get out there. Yeah.
I feel the same way about Portersville basketball season.
Yeah. Well, at Portersville, that we were just talking, it's probably going to be the game of Southeast Missouri. And, that's the first game you play after this 4-game road trip. At Portersville, that's at Hockey Field. That the fans are going to be it's going to be ridiculous. There's going to be news crews here, you know that. Campus called probably, but most importantly, the Boot Hill Sports Network will be right here to bring it to the fans. Anyone who can't make it, maybe forgot to buy a ticket. Maybe there's no seats left, but that's going to be a big one. Either way, I think I speak for every single person here at the home plate, listening at home, watching, and those that come to the games. Even Hayti fans, I got Mark Manley right next to me. We're rooting for you and can't wait to see you Friday night at Charleston. Thanks again for a great game. It's a pleasure to watch it each and every week. And that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We thank you so much for joining us, Coach Robinson and the Hayti recap with Mark Manley and Coach G with the Tigers. And
It's a good crowd.
yeah, big crowd at home plate. You guys got to come check out great food, cold drinks. Come out to the home plate. Very, very friendly staff. And we can't thank you enough for joining us. So for Mark Manley, I'm Jeremy Abrams, CARUTHERSVILLE and Hayti teams and coaches. Thank you so much. And stay with us on Facebook and the Boot Hill Sports Network for updates. And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Thanks, Sam.